it was about a year or two ago. I was hanging out with some people in the positive space at York, and we were all going around. It was like the beginning of the year, so a lot of us were new, so we were all sort of just going around the room, expressing our sexualities and what we are. There were a couple of trans people there, gay, lesbian, and a couple of bisexuals, and they weren't overtly hostile, but there was this sort of condescending and sarcastic remarks like, "Oh, you're bisexual? Oh, well, you'll get there eventually." I'm like, "Get where? You'll finally, you're like halfway in the closet. You just gotta take that last step." I'm like, "No, I don't really think that's for me." And they're like, "Okay, then, right now it's just a phase. You'll get over it," type deal. I'm just like, this is supposed to be the positive space, and this is not very positive.
I think it's definitely something that isn't really discussed a lot when people are learning to explore themselves. That people aren't don't really promote it as an option. So I can see how when you're discovering yourself, your sexuality and everything, it can be really confusing if you do have a tough time deciding who you're attracted to and who you're not attracted to.
My coming out experience was weird because I kind of did it backwards in that I came out as gay first, which at the time I really thought I was, because for some reason I didn't want to be attracted to women. I wanted to be gay or straight, and I felt more gay at the time, so when I came out it was as gay, which made the conversation of coming out as bisexual to my parents really weird, because I'm like, sorry for freaking you out, I don't know.
I thought, oh, if I'm interested in guys, then I must be gay. I didn't really feel there was an option to sort of have your cake and eat it too. And
people are accepting, but at the same time I feel like a lot of them are just kind of like, you just don't know what you want.
Oh, they don't exist. It's just a transitionary period. You're still deciding whether or not you want to be a gay or straight man.
This is going to sound weird, but mainstream sexualities, like being straight or lesbian or gay, is very much accepted, especially with our generation. It's very accepted, so it's kind of, we're getting better on some parts while leaving other people behind, I feel. Like if you don't fit into a very binary domain, which is I'm a man, I like men, or I'm a man, I like women, you're almost shoved off to the side. You're there later if they have enough cake for you later, kind of thing.
Like gay people have their gay bars, straight people have like their clubs and stuff, and like all like the LGBTQ, is that the acronym? Like all those kind of like groups and stuff try to be accepting of like everyone, but they're really like, depending on where you go, like they're focused towards like whoever the majority is, I feel like, which is usually gay people. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like they have more stuff going for them.
I'm a human being. I'm a multifaceted person that being defined as that one thing, I actually find rather insulting.
In high school, when all my friends were going through their exploration phase, we had a teacher in high school who full out was like, bisexuals don't exist. And my friend who was like really avidly bisexual and was like really passionate about it was like, hang on, what? And they got into this like huge debate in the middle of this high school class about like whether or not bisexuals exist, and she just like refused to acknowledge that it could be a thing at all. And like this influence on these like people's lives was just like, no, what you are isn't relevant, it's not important.
We're seen as sex freaks, we can't be in monogamous relationships. They're cheaters most of the time. They're always cheating on their partner. I never see someone who is just bisexual in a relationship, or even just bisexual. They don't have to be in a relationship. They could just be having sex with random people. Everyone does it, but for some reason, whenever bisexuals are in the media, that's all they're ever doing.
when you conform to like a monogamous relationship, it's really difficult to want to admit that you're still bisexual, because there's always a chance that your partner's going to feel threatened. But at the same time, if you're bisexual to begin with, you can't just turn off that sort of attraction to the opposite sex or just any sort of person or type.
There's definitely was a time when, basically I had this, really long-term boyfriend coming into into university, who was very, no, we're not going to talk about this, we're not going to explore this, it's not a thing, it's not for us. So I didn't think about it, I didn't try, and then I started having feelings for this other woman, and then I started getting involved with that woman, and then at that point, people were like, oh, Katie's gay. Like, this is what she is now. And that's, so it got into my head, too, that I was like, I'm gay now. This is what I am.
I've definitely thought it would be easier to identify as another sexuality, and I did for a long time. Like, I identified as straight, even though that wasn't the truth, because it seemed like the easier thing to do at the time. And even now, like, I feel like it would be, like, make my life way easier if I just identified as gay. Because then you don't run into that problem of, like, people being like, oh, you're bi, so I don't want to be with you, or oh, you're bi, you're gonna leave me for, like, the other gender, or whichever gender, or whatever. Yeah, no, like, I kind of hate that this is the way that it is.
I'm more interested in just living than having my sexuality being the one defining feature of my life.